We're counting down the 10 wildest facts about the Appalachian Mountains, each one more unbelievable than the last. From mysteries hidden beneath the oldest rocks on the continent to natural wonders and world records few Americans know exist, this list reveals how these gentle peaks defy everything you think you know about them. Ready to be surprised? Let's begin with number 10. Beneath the rolling peaks of the Appalachians lies a foundation older than the Atlantic Ocean itself. The rocks at the core of these mountains first took shape during the Grenville orogeny, more than 1.1 billion years ago. That was before the first fish, before the first trees, even before the earliest complex life crept across the planet. By comparison, the Atlantic Ocean is a newcomer. Its basin only began to open about 200 million years ago when the supercontinent Pangaea started to break apart. In places like the Blue Ridge, you can find outcrops of this ancient bedrock, silent witnesses to the rise and fall of continents. When you stand on an Appalachian ridgeline, you are standing atop stone that predates not just the ocean, but almost everything we recognize as life on Earth. 300 million years ago, the collision of Africa and North America didn't just fold the land, it heaved up a mountain chain that scraped the sky. During the Alleghanian orogeny, the Appalachians rivaled the world's tallest ranges, with peaks estimated to reach 20,000 feet or more. Imagine summits as high as the Himalayas, jagged and snow-capped, dominating the horizon from Alabama to Newfoundland. But time is relentless. For millions of years, wind, rain, and ice gnawed away at these giants, carrying their stone down to the sea grain by grain. Today, Mount Mitchell stands as the tallest point in the east at 6,684 feet, a gentle ridge compared to the ancient Titans. The grandeur is hidden now, but every rounded hill is a remnant of mountains that once ruled a supercontinent. Geologists tracing the roots of the Appalachians have uncovered a surprising family tree. The same ancient rocks that form the backbone of these mountains show up in the Scottish Highlands, the Atlas Mountains of Morocco, and even the Scandinavian ranges. During the age of Pangaea, around 300 million years ago, all these lands were welded together, forming a single titanic mountain chain known as the Central Pangaean Mountains. When the continents drifted apart, the range was split and scattered across the globe. Today, scientists can match belts of metamorphic rock, formed under the same crushing pressures on opposite sides of the Atlantic. The story is written in the stone. What now looks like separate mountain ranges are really distant relatives, once joined, now separated by an ocean that didn't even exist when these peaks first rose. A soft blue haze drifts over the valleys and ridges of the Great Smoky Mountains, but the source isn't smoke or mist. It's chemistry, at work on a grand scale. Millions of trees, especially oaks, release a compound called isoprene into the air. When sunlight strikes these molecules, they react and form fine particles known as aerosols. These particles are just the right size to scatter short wavelengths of light, especially in the blue range of 400 to 500 nanometers. The result is a natural filter that tints the air with a bluish glow, most visible on warm, humid days. Long before scientists unraveled the process, the Cherokee had a name for this phenomenon: chacanage, or land of the blue smoke. Today, NASA and National Park Service studies confirm that the Smokies' signature haze is a living signal from the forest itself, an ancient, ongoing conversation between sunlight, leaves, and air. Hidden in the damp forests and mossy creeks of the southern Appalachians is a world record that few people expect. More salamander species live here than anywhere else on Earth. Great Smoky Mountains. National Park alone shelters over 30 distinct kinds, from tiny, red-cheeked salamanders to the secretive Jordan's salamander. Across the wider region, scientists have counted at least 77 species, some found nowhere else. The Pigeon Mountain salamander, for example, exists only on a single Georgia slope. This astonishing diversity traces back to the ice ages when glaciers never reached these hills. As the rest of North America froze, salamanders took refuge here, evolving in isolated valleys and ridges. Each hollow and mountaintop became its own laboratory for new forms of life, making the Appalachians a living museum of amphibian evolution. The New River in West Virginia carries a name that's almost a joke. Despite its title, this river may be among the oldest on the continent, possibly even the world. Scientists have argued about its true age for decades. Some studies suggest it's as young as 10 million years, while others claim it could be as ancient as 360 million. What sets the New River apart isn't just the numbers, but its impossible path. As the Appalachian Mountains slowly rose, the river kept its course, slicing through solid rock instead of being pushed aside. The result is the New River Gorge, a deep, winding canyon that stands as proof of the river's stubborn persistence. Whether it's 10 million or hundreds of millions of years old, the New River has outlasted mountains, carving its way through the landscape as everything around it changed. Great Smoky Mountains. National Park draws more visitors than any other in the country, over 12 million people in 2024 alone. That's more than twice the attendance of Yellowstone, Zion, or the Grand Canyon. The reason isn't just the scenery. The park sits within a day's drive of 1 out of every 3 Americans, making it an easy getaway for millions. Admission is free, a rarity among national parks, which only adds to its pull. Families pile into cars each spring and summer, heading for winding roads, wildflowers, and the promise of a view from Klingmon's Dome. The sheer number of visitors is a testament to the park's place in American life, a crossroads of nature, memory, and tradition, where the ancient mountains meet the modern world. As dusk settles over the forests near Elkmont, a quiet magic stirs in the undergrowth. For just a few weeks in early June, thousands of fireflies, Photinus carolinus, rise from the leaf litter and begin to flash in perfect unison. Every 6 seconds, the woods pulse with coordinated bursts of light, then fall into darkness, as if the entire hillside is breathing in rhythm. This spectacle is not just rare, and it's the only display of its kind in North America. For decades, the event was known mostly to locals, but in 1995, naturalist Lynn Faust documented the phenomenon and brought it to the attention of scientists. Researchers confirmed that these fireflies synchronize their flashes to attract mates, creating a living light show that draws visitors from around the world. To protect the fragile habitat, the National Park Service now runs a lottery system, limiting each night's crowd to around 1,600 lucky ticket holders. For those who witness it, the memory lingers long after the lights go out. High up in the southern Appalachians, rain falls with a persistence that rivals the Pacific Northwest. Some slopes in the Great Smoky Mountains collect as much as 90 inches of precipitation each year. That's more than double what falls in Seattle. This steady deluge, paired with mild temperatures, creates a hidden world few expect east of the Rockies, a temperate rainforest. Here, ancient hemlocks and carpets of moss thrive in the constant damp, while waterfalls feed lush coves packed with ferns and wildflowers. Scientists classify these forests as true temperate rainforests, one of the only examples in the continental United States outside the Pacific coast. The result is a landscape so rich and green that it feels almost primeval, a living reminder that the Appalachians shelter not just old rocks, but some of the rarest ecosystems on the continent. Long before the first dinosaur thundered across the earth, the Appalachian Mountains were already standing watch. Their story began around 480 million years ago during the tectonic orogeny, when ancient seas closed and continents collided, raising the first great ridges of what would become Appalachia. Dinosaurs, by comparison, did not appear until about 230 million years ago, meaning these mountains were already 250 million years old when the earliest sauropods and raptors took their first steps. Through every extinction, every shifting sea, every upheaval of land and life, the Appalachians persisted. They watched the rise and fall of the dinosaurs, survived the asteroid that ended their reign, and continued to weather the slow grind of time. Today, their rounded peaks and quiet forests carry the memory of worlds that vanished long before anything with scales or feathers ever walked the earth. Across all 10 facts, one pattern emerges. The Appalachians hide world-class extremes behind a modest profile. Their ancient rocks, rare species, and record-breaking phenomena prove that age brings complexity, not decline. These hills aren't just old, they're quietly among the most extraordinary places on Earth. Thanks for watching.